Good afternoon, everybody. As you can see at the faces of the students, not only are they beautiful outside, but they're beautiful inside. Some of them are here since kindergarten or pre-kindergarten. So basically, we had a very big part in raising these students, and we're very proud. Obviously, it wasn't easy. A lot of work went into this. In fact, this building is only 25 years old, so you can imagine how much work we had to put in. The school is 46 years old. And Mr. Reel and Dr. Reel put in 35 years of hard work into the school. They worked many times around the clock. It wasn't easy, but they were a tremendous help. And we believe that because of that, God pays. And their son went here too, since kindergarten till the 12th grade. And we postponed the graduation for a week because of Dr. and Mrs. Reel, because last week, Josh graduated Chicago Law School. So let's give him a big hand. He's also one of our products. Now I would like to introduce Mr. Reel, the president of the Hebrew Academy.
Thank you, Rabbi. Thank you, Rabbi. Rabbi, and I'm sorry Mrs. Lipner is not here, but I extend my wishes to Mrs. Lipner, Mr. Katsevich, Ms. Shop, Ms. Agronovsky, graduates, families, and friends. This is one of the most rewarding moments of being president of the board of directors of the Lisa Kepner Hebrew Academy, when I get to see these extraordinarily bright and beautiful graduates march into the auditorium and onto the stage, and when I congratulate them for all they have accomplished. I am speaking to you not only as a board president, but also as a father of a Lisa Kepner Hebrew Academy graduate who, thanks in part to the excellent education he received here at the Lisa Kepner Hebrew Academy, just graduated last week from the University of Chicago Law School. It seems like only yesterday you were holding a newborn baby in your arms, and now here is your baby up on the stage, all grown up, a young adult ready to leave for college and embark on a new life of his or her own. You've done everything you could to ensure that your child had the best head start on life. For many of you, that meant the ultimate sacrifices, uprooting yourself from a country of your birth and moving halfway around the globe, enduring untold hardships, learning a new language and new skills, just so your child and grandchildren could have the opportunities that perhaps you did not have. Opportunities for an excellent education and a good profession in a society where you would not be discriminated against or harassed because you are Jewish. So as one parent to another, I congratulate you. Class of 2015, today, before you leave for the round of after-graduation festivities and parties, take a moment to thank your parents and grandparents for making it possible for you to graduate here today from the Lisa Kepner Hebrew Academy. Graduates, I'm not going to make a long speech. I simply want to congratulate you on reaching the milestone of your lives. You are an extraordinary group, and you've left your imprint on the school. I've heard about your incredible accomplishments, the prestigious colleges and universities to which you've been accepted. Over 1/3 of your class is going to a top University of California campus. I've heard the rave reviews you received for your professional level performance in the recent production of West Side Story. And most important of all, Rabbi Lipner has told me how you have blossomed into mensches with a deep and abiding love of Judaism, Yiddishkeit, and Israel. Rabbi Lipner, in his remarks, will be talking to you about not forgetting the Lisa Catholic Hebrew Academy. I just want to add, don't forget what you've learned here. I'm not just talking about Mr. Poirier's incredible lessons on essay writing, or Mr. Malagwawa's pearls of algebra and calculus wisdom, or Mrs. Reel's lessons about the Federal Reserve System and habeas corpus. I'm talking about the strong Jewish values and connection to Yiddishkeit that you've absorbed here. Your teachers tell me that you are unique, truly unlike students at other schools. You've learned to be kind towards each other, to willingly go out of your way to help each other, even while you're all highly academically motivated and competitive. You know now what it means to be Jewish and to love Israel. You've learned these lessons thanks to teams of extraordinary people. I'd just like to take a few moments. First of all, your secular principal, Ms. Sharp, who has kept the school organized and led it through a challenging accreditation process, always with a cheerful smile and calm presence. Thank you, Ms. Sharp. We also owe a huge thank you to the Judaic coordinator, Yana Agrovsky, who has every year skillfully integrated the new Shlakot into a well-organized religious academic program. And she has still found time this year to plan her upcoming wedding. Mazel tov. Ms. Sharp and Ms. Agronovsky supervised two teams of superstars, your secular and Judaic teachers. I'd like to just take a few seconds to acknowledge them and the incredible work that they do. They are totally dedicated to you. They could teach elsewhere and earn a lot more money and get benefits, but they prefer to teach here because they love the students. They love the students for providing an atmosphere in which they are free to teach, but most of all, it's the students. I'd like you sitting here on the stage, who keep the teachers like Mr. Poirier coming back year after year. Mr. Poirier deserves a special word of recognition. This is his 30th year teaching at the Lisa Kaplan Hebrew Academy, and his exceptional contributions as a beloved teacher and drama coach, as well as the college counselor, have truly made the school what it is today. Let's give Mr. Poirier a round of applause. And of course, I must thank the exuberant and enthusiastic group of Shlakot. Shlakot, please stand up. These wonderful young women have dedicated a year of their lives to teaching you about Yiddishkeit and Israel and the Hebrew language. Undaunted, they took on a challenge halfway around the world from their homeland to bring their culture to you. We are extremely grateful and thank you. Then there is an exceptional person who is most essential to your education, but whom most of you never see. I'm talking about Dr. Stanley Kempner, whose extraordinary generosity is the lifeblood of the school. He has financially, single-handedly kept the school going for the past 13 years. In the face of an apathetic Jewish community, he has the courage and the wisdom to stand up for what he believes in and to support the Lisa Kaplan Hebrew Academy and what they are doing. Unfortunately, ill health prevents him from being with us today, but he will receive a tape recording of this graduation. So let's give him an especially warm and loud round of applause for all he does and continues to do. I saved my most heartfelt gratitude for last, for the pioneer without whom none of us would be sitting here today. For more than 45 years, Rabbi Lipner, who left a comfortable and prestigious position back east to venture out to the Wild West of assimilated Judaism, to found the first and then only Northern California Jewish day school. San Francisco's Jewish leadership met him with scorn and contempt. They tried to close the school down. They tried to run Rabbi Lipner out of town. They even tried to get him deported. They spread vicious lies and slander about him. But undaunted, Rabbi Lipner built the school into what it is today, and I might add, in the process, has spurned the birth of at least a dozen other Jewish day schools in the Greater Bay Area. I want to give you a round of applause, Rabbi. When the graduates entered today and marched down the aisle, I'm sure there wasn't a dry eye in this house. When I look at these wonderful, bright young men and women, I beam with pride. These are our future leaders. This, ladies and gentlemen, is Nachas. This is what it's all about. Congratulations and best wishes.
Those of you standing in the back, there's
There's
no
a few
open
seats
room.
over here. You can come sit down if you would like to. As I told you, a lot of effort went into this school, and a special family, Mr. and Mrs. Katzowitz. Mr. Katzowitz is the vice president of the school, put in 46 years into the school. His two sons were in the first class of the Hebrew Academy. Both are exceptionally successful businessmen. One of them has been the biggest alumni contributor to the school over the years. You can't imagine the amount of work that Mr. and Mrs. Katzowitz has put in, and I'm very grateful, and we should give them a big hand. Every year for the last 13 years, Dr. Kempner was standing here and delivering his speech. About a year ago, his speech was incredible. It was a powerhouse. To make you understand what makes this gentleman invest hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of thousands of dollars every year into this school, where myself and the students who understand what this is all about, we refer to him as the tzaddik of the San Francisco Bay Area. The Hebrew Academy is the only school for 400,000 Jews where not only girls can get such an education, but boys too. Boys can also. This is the only place. And there were years when we would have 4, 6 boys travel from Palo Alto every day to come to this school. Incredible, because they had no options. Because if they wanted to study Judaism in an honest way, unadulterated, and to study Talmud, which is basically constitutional Jewish law on the Torah, they had no option. They came here. What made Dr. Kempner, of all people from Hillsborough, invest fortunes into the school for the last 13 years so we can keep it going? For years, I used to spend sometimes days, 6 to 8 hours talking to him, listening to him, learning from him. He's an orthopedic surgeon. He's brilliant. He's a brilliant businessman. But what made him, of all the Jews in the Bay Area, out of 400,000 Jews, single-handedly investing fortunes into this school? Let me tell you, when he was a young boy, his father was also very tall. He was 6'7", a wonderful man. He was the president of an Orthodox synagogue near Detroit. And when he came home from work, every day, he would say, Stan, let's go. And they went to Daven Mincha, just like we Daven Mincha here in the school. And he told them, I will tell you one thing. Never forget that you're a Jew. And never forget what it means to be a Jew. You know, we had the Holocaust, we had pogroms. Now, a new wave of anti-Semitism all over the world. So what's so special about us? Why was he told never forget to be a Jew? Well, every day we make a blessing in the morning, these boys and girls. Asher bochar bonu mikol amim, v'nosan lanu toraso, baruch atah Hashem nosen Torah. We received the Torah. These boys have studied the interpretation, the constitutional interpretation of the Torah, and basically it teaches us morals and ethics. And we are asked to have tremendously high standards, which these boys and girls have. Some people feel that they can't reach these heights. And because of that, they don't like us. The fact is that we are supposed to be a light unto the nations. We want everybody to live by these wonderful standards, by honesty, by caring, by loving other people, by helping the world. And Dr. Kempner, it was instilled in him as a child that this is where it's at. This is the most important thing. And although he cannot be here, his heart is here. And now, because he doesn't feel well, every Sunday, I go and spend time with him. And I wish I could have taped the last visit I had with him, how he spoke about the Hebrew Academy, the Lisa Kempner Hebrew Academy. I also would like to add that in 69, 70, 71, his children were here. Lisa was here. So there is one person who we refer to him as the Tzaddik Francisco. What does tzaddik mean? A righteous person. We don't have saints. We just have righteous people. And Dr. Kempner is a righteous person because he understands what's important in our life to produce these kind of boys and girls who are righteous also. They're very special. I have the privilege, together with another gentleman, to have the legal authority over his health, the power of attorney. And my friend happens to be here, Mr. David Callis. He made it to our graduation. Please stand up. Let's give him a big hand. Mr. Callis and myself have spent the last year putting in enormous hours to get Dr. Kempner to the state where he feels better, and God willing, hopefully next year he'll be with us. As I said, the purpose of me coming here and the purpose of the school, as Dr. Kempner sees it, is to produce Jewish leadership, which unfortunately is not too many, but these boys and girls are. We have quite a few boys and girls who graduated, who went to rabbinical schools in Israel, who are now in the Israeli army. And last year, for the first time, we had a young woman who got an $80,000 scholarship to a school to be a nurse. And she said, I'm going to join the IDF, the Israeli army. And I said to Olga, your parents won't let you. She says, nobody can stop me. Not only is she in the army, but she is in a fighting unit. So as far as the Jewish aspect of the school, I feel we're exceptionally successful. And that's our mission. And that's the mission that Dr. Kempner has asked of me. At the same time, we know that we have to make a living. You can't live just on spirituality. You have to also earn bread. And thank God that our academic successes have been unbelievable. And of course, it took people like Mr. Poirier and Raj and other people, and the principal, Ms. Sharp, and other principals of that caliber, where our students have succeeded in such a way academically that even Dr. Kempner once made a call to me, and when 3 boys, Russian boys, who when they came here couldn't speak a word of English, they got MBAs at Harvard. He says, do you know what you did? From a small school to get 3 boys at the same time MBAs. So academically also, we are exceptional. And I would like to now thank Ms. Sharp, who sees to it that the academic subjects are excellent and that the school runs smoothly. Please, Ms. Sharp.
I would like to congratulate our graduates on successfully reaching this turning point in their academic education and in their lives. They're graduating from a mandated course of instruction that has dictated the day-to-day framework of their large portions of their lives ever since they were little more than toddlers. Now they step out into the exquisite, unstructured chaos of life after high school. I know that many of our graduates today have already faced or continue to face significant hardships. And to them I wish to say this: change can be fearsome, but for things to be better, they must first be different. Have unshakable faith in your security, because calm and confidence created out of this belief allows troubles to unknot miraculously, and it allows you to better attend to the present. If you seek in the midst of these life changes to keep believing in yourselves and use all of the gifts that your hardships have brought you to launch yourself into the star field of your dreams, you will surely succeed. I hope that your time at this school has supported you well. I hope that your academic instruction here proves to be a solid foundation for all your future academic education. I hope each of you becomes more successful, happier, and more luminous than you can ever imagine right now. And I hope that in your transition from structure to this amorphousness of life after high school, that you can see the beauty and opportunity within the ambiguity. I think you are all more beautiful than you realize, and I hope I get to hear how your lives unfold.
And now we are going to come to the most important thing, and that presenting the students to you. All the students are exceptional in their own way. I had the privilege to teach the boys every day. I had the privilege of working with the girls in the student council. We used to meet every Sunday for 2 hours. And so I know them personally very well. And some of them have been here 15 years since kindergarten. They grew up over here. Abby Steers is brilliant academically. She was president of the student council for 2 years. I worked with her. But I think the most important thing is, after studying the Bible, the Chumash, Moshe Rabbeinu, the biggest compliment he got in the Torah, that Moshe Anav Mikol Adam. Moses was the most humble person in mankind. Abby has that quality. So she is the valedictorian, but I have tremendous respect for her because of her character. Abby Steers.
Good afternoon and welcome, class of 2015, Rabbi Lipner, Mr. Reel, Mr. Katzovitz, Ms. Shop, Shlichot, family, and friends. It is a great honor to be standing here on my last day as a high school student among all the people who have helped me come this far. Though our beloved school is small, the families who chose the Lisa Kampner Hebrew Academy for their children are bound by shared values and a belief in tradition, 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 as Joseph Stein wrote in his ever-popular play, Fiddler on the Roof. Even though many of our families came from countries where religion was abolished, where the goal was to detach people from their Jewish identities, and where studying Hebrew led to imprisonment, they did not lose the traditions that kept their Jewish culture alive. In my family, for example, matzah was purchased every Passover and shipped to relatives all over the country where it was no longer available, although this posed the risk of losing jobs or being expelled from colleges. Our families immigrated here to this country to ensure that their children too would prolong the Jewish legacy. Thank you, parents, for entrusting us with this great responsibility. There is one person to whom we all owe much gratitude and adoration, Lisa Kampner herself. She was a young, kind-hearted alumna who realized the deep importance of the school's mission. Now, her father's, Dr. Kampner's, generous assistance in her memory has continued to support us as we have received unparalleled educations in both Judaic and secular subjects. In being here, our teachers have all made a unique choice. I'll try to keep my praise concise, following the advice of Polonius from Shakespeare's Hamlet that brevity is the soul of wit. But it is difficult to be brief when describing an expert, entertaining, and unmatched teacher like Mr. Poirier, or Miss Reel, who managed to transform us into economists and politicians for a semester, or Miss Newell, who showed us how computer science permeates every subject, or Mr. Mangawala, the righteous man who can make even calculus bearable. Whether they have taught for many years or they've joined the staff recently, the teachers at the Lisa Kampner Hebrew Academy all share an unbounded dedication to their students and invest so much energy and knowledge to ensure that each one of us succeeds. The Judaic staff, too, is one of a kind. The Shlichot, with the help of Ms. Agranovsky, are not only our teachers, but our close friends. They can relate to us and have generously chosen to give a year of their lives for this school. I'd also like to thank Ms. Shop and the administration for keeping the school running smoothly, no matter how limited the resources. And finally, we thank Rabbi and Mrs. Lipner for keeping the Lisa Kampner Hebrew Academy at its high standards and providing for our growth and achievements. My class is dedicated to the school. We're always here working together to organize special events and activities for an unforgettable year, both for us and for those who will follow in our footsteps. Many of us have been in the school since childhood. So when we finally attain senior status, we aim to continue the traditions from years ago. Color War, Spirit Days, and the ice skating and bowling trip, to name just a few, took time and effort to plan, but each minute was worth it. If I may say so myself, this was one of the best years the school has ever seen, full of laughs, friendships, and spirit. As we part ways after high school, I'd like to offer my advice to the seniors and to the students who will continue learning here after we have graduated. Don't forget your unique roots, because they will set you apart and give you the courage to follow your dreams. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Abby. You're wonderful. The salutatorian is a young lady who I think was also here since kindergarten, but 14, 15 years. We practically raise these kids, and it's a big pleasure and honor. She's full of dynamite, helping the teachers, being on the student council, and also brilliant. Rochella is a pleasure to have in the school. I think her brother went here also, graduated over here. I think he's here someplace. And I would like at this point also to thank her mother for making this such a beautiful event. Rochella, please.
Welcome, Rabbi Lipner, Mr. Reel, Mr. Katzovitz, Ms. Schopp, family, friends, and faculty. Thank you for joining us this afternoon to celebrate the graduating class of 2015. On behalf of my fellow graduates, we would like to say thank you to a few people specifically. Thank you to Rabbi and Mrs. Lipner, who, without them, we wouldn't even have Elisa Kampner Hebrew Academy to graduate from. Thank you to Dr. Kampner, who sadly could not have joined us today, who has provided us finances, and without them, I don't think we would be here right now. The people that really need to be thanked are the parents of all the graduates. Without them, we wouldn't even be in existence. As well, it's a thanks to them that I got to meet everyone who has passed through LKHA in the past 13 years. Because thanks to my mother, I'm standing up here delivering this speech. Sending me here would have sufficed, but she has provided me with everything that I needed to learn. Also, I would like to thank the parents of my fellow graduates, because without you, I wouldn't have gotten to meet some of the best people I've had the pleasure of knowing. Now, I would like to thank the 10 other young adults sitting behind me. I heard somewhere that the secret of life is that people change people. No matter where we are and who we meet, it's all about the impact that people have on you. These people, who I've spent many years with, are most definitely one of the major reasons I am who I am today. Birthday fun, our group chat, midnight conversations, hour-long phone calls, and going to the movies the minute Shabbat ends so that we're not out until 2 in the morning are only a few things that pop to mind when I think of this class. The amount of memories that we all share could fill up this entire auditorium, and I wouldn't trade those memories for the world. We might fight like siblings, but that also means that we're like each other's siblings. It's rare that we all see eye to eye, like ever, but we listen to each other and have taught each other so much for the future that is ahead of us. We have a fabulous staff of teachers that have educated us in everything between Judaic and secular. But my class has taught me valuable life lessons that I would have never learned without them in my life. Although this may seem very cliche, the Lisa Kampner Hebrew Academy can be described as a book in our lives. Some of us were here in the beginning, starting from the very first page. Others have come and gone along the way. People might say that we're starting a new chapter in our lives, but the Lisa Kampner Hebrew Academy is too important to just classify as a chapter. This school isn't a chapter to close and pass, but something that will always keep near and dear to our hearts, because this is where we grew up and became who we are. Chris Colfer wrote, "You don't get to pick where you're from, but you always have control of where you're going." As we split up and all go our separate ways, I have full faith that we know exactly where we're going. We've made our decisions, and we know just how we want to pave our own paths. I wish us all luck in the future ahead of us. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Rochelle. What a pleasure. If you look at your graduation ceremonies, it says the next thing is that Dvar Torah. Dvar Torah means a word of Torah. In other words, we understand that at every function, we have to use the Torah to learn something out of it and give a message. Liam is a wonderful girl, academically very successful, and she was chosen to give this very important message, Dvar Torah. Liam.
Rabbi, Mr. Reel, Mr. Katzovitz, Ms. Schopp, Dr. Kampner, teachers, friends, and family. Welcome, and thank you for all being here at the 2015 Lisa Kampner Hebrew Academy Senior Graduation. We are here to honor a very special individual who has provided us with not only a great name, but also a great reputation, both in Judaic and secular academics. But enough about me. Dr. Stanley Kampner, none of us would be sitting here if not for your unbelievable altruism. There are no words to describe our gratitude for all that you have done for us, but to compare you to a great man in Jewish history. The Talmud speaks of an affluent man named Nakdimon Ben-Gurion, who risked his prosperity to provide for those who could not provide for themselves. Over 2,000 years ago, during the time of the Second Temple, the entire Jewish nation was in Jerusalem for a festival. But there was no water to drink, for a drought plagued the land. Nakdimon Ben-Gurion approached a Roman nobleman who lived there and made a deal with him. "Lend me 12 wells of water for the use of my people," he told him, "and I will replace it with another 12 wells of water, and if not, I will repay you with all my silver." The nobleman agreed and gave him 1 year to repay him in water, and if the wells didn't fill up in time, to repay him with all his fortune. A year passed, and water ceased to fill the wells. That morning, the nobleman sent a messenger to Nakdimon Ben-Gurion. "Send me my water or my silver," he commanded. But Nakdimon Ben-Gurion was wise. "I still have time," he replied. "The whole day is still mine." The messenger was sent to him 3 times until finally evening approached. Feeling hopeless, Ben-Gurion entered the temple and prayed, "God, you know that neither for my honor nor the honor of my father's house did I do this. I did it all for your honor alone, that the Jewish people may have water for the festival." Immediately, the skies filled with clouds and a great storm fell, filling the 12 wells with water. The Roman nobleman, in awe of this miracle, refused to accept the water because the rain fell after sunset. He demanded that his silver be given to him. Again, feeling hopeless, Ben-Gurion entered the temple to pray, "God, let them know that we are your friends in this world." Immediately, the clouds in the sky were replaced with the sunlight of a new day. The Talmud then ends the story by telling us that the sun moved for 3 men, Joshua, Moses, and Nakdimon Ben-Gurion. But the Talmud mistakenly forgot to mention Dr. Stanley Kampner. My friends, as we part our ways, I hope that we can look back at the great memories we've shared here at the Lisa Kampner Hebrew Academy and never forget them. But as we look to our future, the future full of possibilities, I hope that we can take one lesson with us, to never forget where we came from, to stand up for our beliefs through compassion and kindness, the way Dr. Kampner stood up for us. Thank you.
Are the cones here? Rami, where are you? Stand up. And Mrs. Cohn, stand up. This is your daughter.
Fred Lebedansky will now present our Teacher of the Year.
Good afternoon, Rabbi Lipner, Mr. Reel, Mr. Katzovitz, Ms. Shop, and lastly, Dr. Kampner, teachers and parents. I would like to present the Teacher of the Year award on behalf of my classmates to a very special teacher. The teacher has dedicated his time and energy in and out of class in order for all of us to succeed. Every single class was a new experience and allowed us to grow in the academic field as well as the real world. His way of teaching allowed us, the students, to be entertained and at the same time pay attention to the subject that he taught. From the vocabulary tests to the debates, we were able to develop ourselves in ways that we wouldn't be possible without him. He guided us for 4 years. He was our drama coach, college, and lastly, like a second parent to each and single one of us. And for that, we are all thankful. We would like to present to you, Mr. Poirier, with the 2014-2015 Teacher of the Year Award. Thank you for everything that you've done for us.
About 35 years ago, we used to bring couples from Israel, rabbis and their wives, to teach and to be part of a faculty. And then later on we switched to single people because we felt that besides being teachers, they could also be friends and they can influence even more. One couple who was here, usually they used to come for 2 or 3 years maximum. But this couple was very special. And they want to go, the wife wants to go home. And I said to the rabbi, tell me, who's the rabbi of your wife in Israel? And he told me, Rabbi Simcha Cook, the chief rabbi of Rehovot. So I called Rabbi Simcha Cook, and I spoke to him, and he called her, and they stayed another year. While they were here in the 4th year, Rabbi Berenson lost his sister. And when he lost his sister, he set up a small foundation over here, tiny one, and he said that when you have a student that you feel that you have turned them upside down when it comes to Judaism and to the love of the state of Israel, I would like you to give him a prize. And the Berenson prize is not a big sum of money, but it's amazing because one of the graduates who came here a few years ago, he knew very little about Judaism, and he didn't care much about Israel, at least as far as I could see. And this young man has turned upside down. When he puts on the phylacteries, tefillin, I'm jealous because he puts them on with more love than I do. He doesn't know I watch him. Every morning, he would come and tell me what's happening in Israel very excitedly. He loves Israel. When he came, I wasn't sure if what I'm doing is right to take him into the school. I'm honest with you. Well, it's one of our biggest successes this year. This young man has turned into a gem, and this is not only my opinion. Has an exceptional character, loves Judaism, and loves the state of Israel. And because of that, we are going to give the Berenson Award, which is $500, to a young man that we're extremely proud of, Itai Lifshitz.
Good afternoon, Rabbi Lipner, Dr. Reel, Mr. Katzevitz, Ms. Shop. I'd like to thank you very much for financially helping me and giving me a $500 check for being who I am. And I really thank you for that.
I think that was a little bit of a surprise for him. Mr. Poy will now present the student accolades.
So we're going to present diplomas to our graduating seniors, and I will announce each senior, and they will step forward and receive their high school graduating diploma. Liam Cohen. Also accepted to UC Davis, UC Santa Barbara, UC Santa Cruz, Cal Poly San Luis Obispo, Cal Poly Pomona, CSU Long Beach, CSU Los Angeles, and Chapman University. She will be attending UC Berkeley this fall, where she is looking forward to being a part of the Jewish community there. Her best school memory is of bonding with everyone the night before the ski trip at her house. Rochella Gorelli. Rochella was born in Omaha, Nebraska, and has attended our school for 13 years. Also accepted to UC Santa Cruz, the University of San Francisco, San Diego State University, and San Francisco State. She will be attending UC Davis this fall, where she intends to study pre-medicine. Her favorite memory is of the field trip to the Redwood Forest and beach. Frederick Lebedyansky. Fred was born in San Francisco and has attended LKHA for 4 years. This fall, he is planning to attend Skyline College, entering the transfer program to UC Berkeley, where he will focus on law. His favorite memory is of all the talks he had with classmates at Shabbat dinners. Vladimir Lebedyansky. Vladimir was born in San Francisco and has attended our school for 4 years. This fall, he will begin working and attending Skyline College, where he intends to enter the UC transfer program. His favorite memory is of senior bowling and ice skating day. Itai Lipschitz. Itai was born in Ashdod, Israel. He has attended Lisa Campbell Hebrew Academy for 3 years. This fall, he will attend Skyline College, entering the 2-year transfer program to either UC Santa Barbara or UC Santa Cruz, where he will study advertising and marketing. His favorite memory is of surviving the ice skating trip and the LA trip. Michael Vachkovsky. Michael was born in Israel and has been a student at our school for 5 years. He will be attending the College of San Mateo this fall, where he will enter the UC transfer program. He intends to major in business management. His favorite memory is of all the conversations about politics in Rabbi Lipner's Talmud class. Beatrice Markinson. Beatrice was born in San Francisco and has attended LKHA for 13 years. Also accepted to UC Davis, UC Santa Cruz, Cal Poly Pomona, San Diego State, and San Francisco State, CSU Los Angeles, and CSU Long Beach. She will be entering UC Santa Barbara this fall, where she plans to major in economics. Her favorite memory is of planning events and running the school with her best friend by her side. Luba Nelson. Luba was born in San Francisco and has been a student at Lisa Campbell Hebrew Academy for 8.5 years. This fall, she will attend the College of San Mateo, entering the 2-year UC transfer program. She plans to study biology. Her favorite memory is of making the whole drama class disco all the way to Funky Town. Paul Pavlovsky. Paul was born in San plans to major in business administration and management with a focus in sports. His favorite memory is of April Fool's Day in Miss Uverov's class. Maxwell said, Max was born in San Francisco and has been a student at LKHA for 6 years. Also accepted to Cal Poly Pomona, he will be attending San Francisco State University this fall, majoring in computer engineering. His best memory is of meeting his classmates for the first time in 7th grade. Abby Steers. Abby was born in San Francisco and has attended Lisa Kempner Hebrew Academy for 15 years. Also accepted to UCLA, UC San Diego, UC Davis, UC Santa Barbara, UC Santa Cruz, University of San Francisco, and San Francisco State University. She will be attending UC Berkeley this fall, where she will be studying cognitive science. Her favorite memory is of playing Irina Sinkova in the play I Never Saw Another Butterfly.
So for the class would stand. The graduating class of 2015.